Alright everyone, and welcome to my video tutorial. I'm going to show you folks how to go ahead and create a full NFT project from scratch. Now there are some prereqs to this video. This is assuming if you look on the right here that you have your NFT artwork and everything of the NFTs in your collection, and that you already have the metadata and everything to match. Now I'll post another video on how to create these things later, but this video is going to be specifically on how to go ahead and create your smart contract and your minting website. Now we're going to actually go ahead and create our NFT project using a no-code website tool called Rampp. Rampp allows you to create smart contracts. If we look at their website here, you can see some of the things that we're going to do. One great thing about Rampp is that you own everything. Rampp just basically generates a smart contract for you. They do have some easy to use deployments that you can actually use some very nice UI interfaces on top of their website to help you control your smart contract if you're not used to, interacting with a smart contract on something like Etherscan. But you can go ahead, copy all the code from the smart contract that is generated, and you can deploy this on your own if you choose to do so. They're going to have a bunch of things that you can do and features that you can actually implement in your contracts, from allow lists. You can set minting fees, you can set wallet limits. So if a wallet can only mint 5 or 3 maximum of an NFT, you have royalty splitting, so you can put in all the wallet addresses of the team members and whoever you need to pay out from the project. Rampp also creates all its contracts right now are ERC 721A contracts, so you're going to be saving a bunch of gas when it comes to multiple mints, when it comes to minting your NFTs. They also have a minting button and website. So Rampp, as we go through everything, they have a really easy to use embed that you can embed into no code website builders. All you need to do is generate the button on Rampp's website, copy the code, and then paste the embed code into your website. And of course, Rampp does have a bunch of other features as well too. One thing that you should know is Rampp does take a small 5% commission on the mint. So this means that once you launch your project and once you mint everything, when you withdraw the Ethereum from the smart contract, 5% automatically goes to Rampp's wallet. That's kind of the fee that you have to pay in order to use Rampp. Other than that, to interact and start using Rampp, it's completely free. The only time that you pay Rampp is if you're making money from your project. So I think it's a nice little trade-off that you only make. They are only making money if you make money, and they're only taking about 5%. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start with Rampp, and we're gonna go ahead and create our smart contract. So on Rampp's website, you do have to connect it to a MetaMask wallet or some type of wallet, so make sure you're on a browser that allows you to do so. You can either come down here in the middle or up in the top right to hit launch a project. It's going to connect your wallet, and it should bring you to a dashboard that looks like this. Now you're not going to have anything here because we didn't create a project yet, but we're going to go ahead and hit create a new project. You'll see that you get your little project that gets added on right here. And Rampp makes it pretty easy to go ahead and create a smart contract. They have step-by-step instructions on what you have to do. So we'll start from the top, and we basically need to set up our images and metadata on IPFS servers. So click on it. It'll go a little bit over what things you should have prepared. So this part right here, like I said, our images and everything, they are going to be kind of pre-prepared for this tutorial. I'll make another tutorial later on how to do these. But you read this important message here. It says you would need to start, you need all your images ready to upload. All file names should match their token number. For example, one PNG should match what you want your token 1 to show on the marketplace, and your metadata JSON file is ready as well. So what that means is if we look at my images here, you can see here this is named 1.png, 2.png, and so forth. I have 200 NFTs in this collection here, so they should be numbered numerically, and this is the order in which they're going to be minted as well. It's going to be minted chronologically. For your metadata, you also want the same thing as well. You can see here that when I generated the metadata, mine started with 0, which is incorrect. Let's see here. This is a pink background. So I actually changed my 0 to 200. So I have to make sure that this here matches that. Let's clean this up. Actually, clean it up by name. So 1.json should have green background, white monkey, blank body, quality to the top. Should match my #1 PNG here. So green background, white body, no clothes. So you want to make sure that you have your images and your metadata named correctly in order to make sure that they work with Rampp. So follow the instructions there. Make sure you read through everything. I'm going to go through it in this tutorial, but when you're going through it on your own, make sure you do read the instructions. So we're going to go ahead and proceed here. And the next thing we're going to do is log in and register with something called Pinata. Pinata is basically an IPFS file storage site. And we're going to use this to go ahead and store our images and metadata for our NFT project. So you can actually click on one of the links. It'll bring you to Pinata's website here. And all we need to do is create an account. So we'll go try it for free. All right, and once you go ahead and confirm everything, you should see a screen similar to like this. You'll probably see an introduction here. We'll go ahead and just close that out for now. We'll go ahead and close this message down at the bottom. So this is Pinata. This is where you're going to be able to store all of your image and metadata files. So once we created an account, we're going to go back on over to Rampp. We'll proceed to the next instruction. So the next thing we're going to do is upload token images. So we're going to upload our images to Pinata, and we're going to grab something called the CID, which is going to help us verify what link and reference our NFT should point to for the images of the NFT. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and upload the images and we're gonna get that CID. So in order to do this, we're gonna come over to Pinata again. We're gonna come over to this upload button and we're gonna select the folder because we need to upload all these NFT images here. So we're gonna select folder, we're gonna find, all right, once you find it, I'm gonna hit that images folder, which has my 200 NFTs right there. And it's going to ask you if you want to upload your files. Go ahead and hit upload. And you can name this folder whatever you want. So I'll just say this is a project I call it Test Apes. So I'm just going to call it Test Apes Images. And you can always change this name after if you want to change it. You can change it within Pinata. So we're going to hit upload and we're going to wait till this goes through. All right, and once it finishes uploading, you're gonna see your image or your folder name that you put here. So Test Apes Images. You're gonna see this kind of random numbers and letters. That's your CID. We're gonna actually go ahead and copy that, and we're gonna come back to Rampp, and that's what we're gonna paste in this image folder CID. So go ahead and paste that in there, and we have to make sure that the image file extension matches what our images are of our NFT. So if I come over here back to my images, you can see these are PNGs. So I need to switch this to PNG. And the thing that you want to make sure you do is hit Save Image IPFS. Now you want to make sure you save that because if you don't hit save, it's not saving the information you put in here. So make sure you hit that button. So once we put in the CID, we select what type of image file extension we have and we hit that save. We'll go ahead and proceed. Now, the next thing we need to do is set up a pre-reveal image. Now, this pre-reveal image, if you folks are familiar with NFT projects, normally when they mint, there is some type of pre-reveal image that shows, and it doesn't show the actual NFT that you got. So this is kind of like it's kind of like a pack opening, and this is the cover art of the pack. Now, you don't have to do this step. If you just want to mint out your NFTs and make it, just reveal once it is mint, you can just go ahead and skip this. But what we're going to do for this one is go ahead and add a pre-reveal image. It is actually going to be this image right here of this drawn monkey head, and that is going to be our pre-reveal image. So now what we need to do is get the pre-reveal image CID. Now, what we're going to do is go back to Pinata. We're going to upload, not a folder this time, we're going to do a file. So we're gonna upload a file. We're gonna find this file here, which is this unrevealed image. We're gonna go ahead and open it, and I'm just gonna name it pre-reveal, or we'll name it test apes pre-reveal. Right, test apes pre-reveal, and we'll go ahead and upload that. And we're only doing the image, so we're not making a folder or anything. We're just doing purely the image. We'll wait till it appears right here. So we have our pre-reveal image of our stuff. We're gonna copy the CID of that one. We're gonna head back on over to Rampp, paste it in this section here, and remember, hit that save button. Make sure it turns green and it goes saved. And then we'll go ahead and proceed to the next step. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is prepare the metadata. Now, this step here, I've helped many people go through this step, and something that many people do is they just go ahead, upload their metadata to Pinata, and then they copy the CID. One thing that you have to do is we have to upload our metadata to Rampp so that Rampp can give us the proper metadata files. Right now, if I go to my metadata, it doesn't have any type of reference point to this images here that we created in Pinata. And that's one thing that we have to do, because right now we don't know what image is connected to this metadata. So Rampp does it for us, where we just have to upload the files, download it, and Rampp will automatically add the image directory reference point to our metadata. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll go ahead and upload the metadata. So you just have to go ahead in your metadata. You can hit like Command A to select all of it, open it up. So we have our 200 files. Now we're gonna have to go ahead and download the complete metadata files. So download that, and we're gonna download the pre-reveal files as well. So we have both of them there. We'll go ahead and open those up really quick. All right, so I went ahead, unzipped it, and added it into my folder here. So this should have our pre-reveal and our regular metadatas. Now, if I open up one of these here, you'll see that this is the pre-reveal metadata, and all it's pointing to right now is the IPFS CID of our pre-reveal image, which is this one right here. So that way, when we mint these first ones, that is the image that's going to show, and that is going to be the metadata of our NFT. Now, if I go back to the other folder, and let me open up this one here, this is our metadata. Let me compare it to what we used to have. So this is why you want to make sure you upload your metadata to Rampp and download the new one. So the attributes are all the same, right? We have background value, which is green. All those are the same. Description, I think, is empty right here, which I left empty. Name is test tape number 1. But what Rampp does for us is add the image with the IPFS and the CID to the correct image that it needs to refer to. So if you don't do it this way, when you mint, you're not going to see an image that pops up. So you want to make sure, again, that you, let me go back here, that you upload your files in Rampp and you download these two things right here. Okay, that is going to be a very important part. So once we do that and we get our pre-reveal and our regular metadata files, we're going to go ahead and proceed. And you're going to see that we're going to have to upload these now to Pinata and get the CIDs for those new folders there. So we're going to do the same thing. Go back to Pinata. We're going to hit upload folder. We are going to select, let me see which one. It's the 306 is our pre-reveal one. So we're going to upload. And this is our pre-reveal metadata. This is of the test tapes. So we're going to upload the pre-reveal metadata, and we're going to do the same thing for the regular metadata as well. So that was the pre-reveal one. And then let's see, 3229 is the regular one. So this is Test Apes pre-reveal. Oh no, this is Test Apes regular. Just Test Apes metadata right there, and we'll upload those files as well. All right, so we have both of them uploaded. We'll wait till it appears. Okay, so we're gonna take the pre-reveal one first. We're gonna copy the CID, come back here, paste it in there, and then we're gonna take our regular metadata, copy that CID, and paste it in there. Make sure you paste it into the correct ones too, because pre-reveal is what's gonna show up first, and you don't want it to show your actual metadata and then switch over to your pre-reveal. So make sure, again, we hit that save button, and then we're going to proceed. Now, this is the validation part, which is really nice that Rampp created, because we can go ahead and actually check and make sure what our NFTs are going to look like before actually deploying the contract. So you can see that this is checked off right here. We have a green check mark that the metadata is good. We also have a checked off that the metadata was found, and it's also going to show us a test image of our first one, and it should show us also the test image of our reveal content here. So we'll just give it a bit of time. Sometimes it doesn't show up as green check marks immediately. It doesn't show your image immediately, but you do want to make sure that everything here is one that is checked off, and that your pre-reveal and your actual images show up here, because this is what's going to be the information that's going to be pulled into NFT marketplaces like OpenSea or LooksRare. So we'll give it a few moments for it to pop up, and then we'll come right back. All right, so we can see that I got an error on the pre-reveal image, which means we have to go ahead and take a look at what is going on. So if I go back here, and let's go back to a pre-reveal image. One, I want to make sure that everything is correct. So if I go back to my pre-reveal image and copy this here, it should be the same thing. All right, so that is the same thing there. Let's go back to where I put the metadata. And the metadata is of this L4UE. So we want to make sure we have the right CIDs in, pre-reveal metadata. Let's go ahead and click on this. Let's just verify that this is going to the right place. All right, so this is all our metadata here. Let's click number 1. So number 1 should be bringing us to this right here. So if I copy this, I can test it out. And then I can paste it on over there, and yeah, so it's showing the right image right here. So we should be good. Let's go ahead and double check this really quick. So hit proceed. Let's see if it loads the pre-reveal image, and there we go. So it looks like it just needed to try and load it again. But you can see here, this is what, when someone first mints our NFT, they're going to see this image here. And once everything is minted out, or whenever we choose to do so, we can go ahead and reveal what NFTs lie behind these ones. All right, so everything is set up. Everything's good. We got the green check marks. The correct images are showing. We're going to now go over to set up our contract. So it's going to bring you over to the contract setup page. Now this is where, one, you can choose your project network. Currently, Rampp supports Ethereum, Polygon, and Optimism. So you can go ahead and choose which blockchain you want to create your NFT project on. We're going to do an Ethereum project for this. Our project name, again, this is going to be called Test Apes. We'll call it Test Apes Tutorial. We can go ahead and create what our token symbol is going to be. So I'm going to name Test Apes. And then you can add a project description. So this is a NFT project tutorial. You can set your royalties. So whatever you want your royalties to be on the secondary market, you can go ahead and set them here. We'll just say 5%. You can also add in your website for your project if you want to add that in as well. Now, everything except for the project network, so the name, and think symbols is going to stay too. So the name, project network, and symbol, you cannot change. The project name, the description, the royalties, the website here, you can change all of this later on in, say, OpenSea. You just have to edit the project information. But you can put it in here so that when it's deployed, it's there and it's set up already. So go ahead, make sure everything is what you need it to be, and then you can go ahead and save and continue. All right, now these are some of the contract features that you can turn on. So only owner minting, this is if you're creating maybe NFTs that you want to give out or something, or maybe it's like an airdrop and only the owner should be able to mint the NFTs to airdrop to holders. You can turn that on. If this is going to be like a public mint for anyone to go ahead and purchase or mint, you're going to keep that off. If you're going to have allow list for your mint or whitelist, so a specific addresses that can maybe mint the NFT pre-sale ahead of time, you can go ahead and turn that on, and I'll show you folks how that works. Allow minting on deployment. Now this, if you want to on testing, you can go ahead and leave this on, but normally what you want to do is keep that off. This way, once the smart contract is deployed, if someone's watching your wallet and they see you deploy a smart contract, they might just follow it and start minting as soon as the contract is deployed. So you want to make sure that no one can publicly mint from the contract when you do deploy it. So make sure you turn that off if you are going public or something. Maximum mints per transaction. Now this is the limit that someone can mint from either a allow list spot or a public mint. So if you're allowing people to buy 5 NFTs, 3 NFTs at a time, or maybe just only allowing them to purchase 1 NFT per transaction, you can set the max limit there. We'll just say, hey, you can go ahead and mint a max of 3. You can also add restrictions for wallet. So this is to stop people from, minting 3 over and over and over again. If people know how to play around with gas fees, they can keep minting 3, 3, 3, and 3 by setting higher gas fees than other people, and they'll be able to get more of the NFT. So having wallet restrictions is something you might want to do to kind of limit the amount of NFTs someone can mint. So if we leave it the same as a maximum transaction, this means that once someone mints 3, they can no longer mint any more from that wallet. And then we have a limited token supply, which our limit right now is 200 because we only have 200 NFTs in our collection. Right? If we go down here, 200 is our max. So you're allowing people to, we'll put this at 2. I'm allowing people to mint 2 NFTs max per transaction, and they're only allowed to mint 2 into their wallet. Now minting fee, you can turn that on. This is where you can set the fee. So maybe I want my mint to be 0.05 Ethereum. And pre-reveal drop. So we do have a pre-reveal set up. So we're going to turn that on. And this way, again, when people mint, they're going to have that image of the black ape head. And then once they reveal, they'll get one of these NFTs that we have right over here. So you can go ahead, you can play around with these features depending on what you need for your smart contract. And once all that's set up, we'll go ahead and hit save and continue. The next one is payouts. So this is where you can add multiple wallet addresses for the payouts of the mint. So anytime you withdraw the fees from the smart contract, the amount will be divvied up depending on how you break it down here. So by default, Rampp always gets 5% of the smart contract funds. Then you can go ahead and add whatever else wallets you want. You can add an address, and then you just have to make sure that they add up to 100%. So You can go ahead, put in your developer's address or your artist address or your marketer, whoever you have on your team, and you can go ahead and separate the different payouts there. So I'm just going to leave it to my wallet address here and Rampp's there. So 5, and then the remaining 95 will go into my regular wallet. So we'll hit continue. All right, so this feature here is you can actually go ahead and add in a custom header to your smart contract code if you want to. This is optional. By default, you'll get the Rampp header, and we're gonna go ahead and leave this blank, and I'll show you what I mean by that once we generate the smart contract. Just know that you can use art generator to go ahead and create your very own if you want to, but we're going to just hit save and continue right now. And then once everything is complete and you're good with it, again, you can always come back to this, regenerate your smart contract if you want to, but we're going to generate our contract here, and we'll come back once this is done. It does take a couple minutes. All right, so once it generates your smart contract, you'll have your smart contract source code here. You'll also have your contract's ABI here. So if you wanted to, you could actually come over here to your smart contract, and you could take all this code here and you could deploy it on something like Remix if you wanted to. If you wanted to change some of the code and make it unique for your project. If it come down to the bottom here, you'll see that this Rampp header thing that you see here, this is what the header mark is over there. So you can change that to whatever you want. So this is the ABI for your smart contract. So this is if you wanted to go ahead and maybe add some of your own custom code using like Web3.js to your website or anything. This is the ABI that you can use to interact with the smart contract. Now you can open up that smart contract in a separate window. We are going to need it when we verify the smart contract after deploying. So if I come back to Rampp here, we're going to deploy the contract on Testnet. So we're going to deploy this smart contract to Rinkeby, which is the Ethereum testnet. This allows us to test smart contracts out before actually deploying them on the real Ethereum blockchain. This way we can make sure everything works properly and that everything is going to go smoothly. So I highly suggest that you always deploy on a testnet prior to deploying on the mainnet. That way you can make sure everything works. Now in your MetaMask here, you can just go ahead and switch the network to Rinkeby testnet. You do want to have some testnet Ethereum in there. I have 0.198. If you do need some Ethereum for the testnet, you can come to faucets.chain.link/Rinkeby. It brings you to this website right here. You can connect your wallet, and once it's connected, you can uncheck link. You can check off the 0.1 test ETH. Just prove you're not a robot. When you send a request, it'll send you some Rinkeby testnet Ethereum. So now you can see I have 0.298 Ethereum. So you can do that a couple times. You are going to need this fake Ethereum in order to interact with the testnet. That's why. All right. So we'll come back to Rampp here. We'll switch to Rinkeby network. You see that I went ahead and switched that already. So we are green and we are ready to go. And what we're going to have to do next is make sure that we have some test ETH. And then we're going to come down here where it says deploy test apes to Rinkeby. So we're going to go ahead and deploy that. You can see that in order to deploy a smart contract, you do need to pay gas. It's going to be much higher than this when you deploy to mainnet, but the testnet is very cheap to deploy on. So we're going to go ahead, wait till gas to update, and we're going to confirm that. So if I come back up here to the contract deployment, I can click on it and hit view on the block explorer, which should bring up the Rinkeby Etherscan. We'll wait till this goes through. So right here, it went ahead and successfully deployed our smart contract to the Rinkeby test network. Now, what we're going to need on Rampp, if we scroll down a little bit, is we're going to need the contract deployment transaction and the contract address. So we need the transaction hash, which is this top one right here. So we can copy that, come back down here, paste that in there. And if we come back here, we're also going to need the contract address that it just created, which is this one. Or copy that and paste that down in the bottom as well. Then we're going to update the contract information. And right here under verify and validate, we're going to need to verify this. Now, what I mean by verify is if we come back to our transaction here and we actually go to our smart contract. If we come over to contract here, you'll see that this doesn't have a green check mark. It's not verified and published, and we don't really know what the smart contract looks like. Normally, this is kind of a red flag to people because people want to know and make sure that the smart contract is safe to go ahead and interact with. So we want to make sure that our smart contract is verified and published so that when we do go public and we mint this out to people and people take a look at it, that they feel safe and they can look at our source code and everything from Rampp. So in order to do this on Rampp, once you go ahead and put in the transaction hash and the contract address here under the verify and validate, we're going to hit this link right over here. It's going to automatically bring us to the correct verify and publish for our smart contract. It puts in the smart contract code and everything here. Right over here under optimization, we're going to go ahead and hit yes. We're going to come over to the smart contract code that we downloaded earlier. You're just going to select all and copy that. And we're going to paste the entire smart contract code in this area right there. Under this constructor argument, we're going to delete all of this here. And in Rampp, we're going to go ahead and copy this constructor argument right here. And we're going to paste that into that area. Then we're just going to verify that we're not a robot. Click on those traffic lights. And then we're going to verify and publish. All right, and there you can see we went ahead and verified our smart contracts. If I come back over here, again, remember this not showing anything. If I refresh the page, you can now see that we have a green check mark next to contract, and you can see that it shows all of our contract source code here, the contract ABI. And this is what people want to see. Again, this is what people want to see because they can verify to make sure that our smart contract and everything is safe to interact with. We can also interact with our smart contract directly from Etherscan. We can look at things like price. So that's equal to 0.05 Ethereum. We can see max wallet mint is 2. Or we can actually interact with the smart contract with these write contracts. So we can actually go ahead and mint directly from Etherscan if we want to go ahead and interact with the smart contract this way. But Rampp does allow us to go ahead and use some really nice UI elements from their website to actually make interacting with this stuff a lot easier, especially if you're not used to minting or interacting directly with smart contracts through Etherscan. Rampp makes that very simple as well. All right, so once we have everything deployed, we can actually go ahead and if we wanted to manage contract here, and in managing contract, we can go ahead and this is where we can toggle some of the switches. So right now we're not revealed. So once our NFTs are all minted out, we can actually just toggle this switch. It'll reveal all our NFTs. Right now, our minting status is closed. I can go ahead, turn that on to allow minting. I can go ahead and make sure that I allow my allow list in order to mint. I can change my minting fee, the max tokens, all of that stuff. I can go ahead and just airdrop NFTs to certain ETH addresses. So all of this here is normally what you would interact with in this area right here of Etherscan on your smart contract, but Rampp makes it very, very easy to go ahead and do the same things, but with a nice UI layout. If I come over here to allow list addresses, you can actually go ahead and just enter in all the allow list addresses that you need to go ahead and add. And if you wanted to withdraw ETH, you can see what the current balance of the contract is and how much the payout is going to be to everyone here. And you just hit withdraw funds, and it'll let you withdraw and send the ETH to those contracts. Analytics, this is something that they are kind of giving early access to, so you can see how much people actually use the whitelist spot. You can see who's minting your project. You can see trends. A bunch of analytics is going to be added in, and you can actually view it here on Rampp. Rampp also does have their Flight Pass, which is their NFT that they are launching, which is going to allow you to go ahead and get a lifetime access to all the features and everything that Rampp is going to build. So you get access to things now, plus in the future. I'll put all the information down below as well. But once we have all of this, we're not going to interact with it just yet. I'm going to go back to my projects, and you can see as this checklist goes down, we have done the first, second, and third one. We're not going to deploy to mainnet. I'm not going to make this an actual NFT project, but we are going to actually go ahead and create a minting website and make sure that we have a website that we can mint from. So in order to create a really quick and nice looking website, we're going to use something called Typedream. Now Typedream is really easy to use. You can make really professional looking websites. All we need to do is let's go ahead and log in. We'll create an account. And once you're in, I'm using my own account here. You can just go ahead and create a new site. And when you create a new site, you're going to see different options that you can choose from. I'm going to go ahead and just actually hit start from scratch because we're going to make something really easy and quick. Cool. So this is the scratch. I'm going to hit on these little dots here, and I'm going to delete everything because I want nothing on this page. Let's go ahead and delete all of that, and delete that too. Okay, so I have my one area up here. You can see it says type / to show options. So we go /, we can actually choose something called a section template. And I can delete this little guy here. So I only have this section template. I deleted everything else. And I can just hit select template. And I can just, under hero, I can just choose one of these things. And it'll just add it in. So I'm going to choose this top one here. So this is what my website is going to look like. It's going to have some information here, and it's going to have the mint button here. Now I'm not going to use the button that Typedream has, so I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to name, let's say this is Test Apes Tutorial NFT. And then I can just write a little description. This is a tutorial on how to create NFT project with no code. And of course you can change your image and everything here, but I'm not going to get too into it on this tutorial. I'm just showing you how you can easily integrate a mint button from Rampp into a no-code website builder like Typedream. So if I come back over to Rampp here, at the very bottom there's a mint button and landing page. I can click on that. You can see that they actually suggest using Typedream, and you can actually get 10% off of your first year if you use Rampp's promo code here. But this left option here is an embeddable button widget, so we can click on that. And we can go ahead and customize our button right over here. So again, the contract that we made, we're allowing people to mint up to 2 NFTs. So we're going to switch this to multi-mint. That way they can see the little number here and they can change it between 1 and 2. We're going to say this, we're going to call this mint test ape. And then we can say mint paused, and we'll change when it's sold out. We'll say sold out. And then you can go ahead and actually change the radiuses. We're going to make it full so it's a pill shape. And you can actually hide or show the mint count. So this will actually like show how much of the NFTs are actually minted. I'm just going to turn that off for now. We don't need to show that. And you can actually also put in a redirect link to any website or web page that you want people to be redirected to once they mint the NFT. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my Twitter page here. If you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter. That's my user handle right there, Watase_ETH. So once this fill, you customize this. Again, you can change the color, the text, all of that stuff there. You can come right over here and just click and copy this embed code. And now, if you look here, the embed code is under Testnet. Once you deploy on the main Ethereum blockchain, you're going to have to come back here and get the button code from mainnet. So remember to switch that, or else people are going to be minting from your testnet contract and not your mainnet contract. So make sure you make that change once you deploy to mainnet. But right now we're doing testnet, so we'll go ahead, click, copy that code. We're going to head on over back to Typedream. We're going to hit slash, and we're going to add embed. And we can actually click on that, and we can actually hit the embed code. We'll just paste our Rampp code there and insert. And you can see that a button gets added right over here. We can shrink that down. Get rid of this old one here. And there you go. Now, it may be offset a little. You can kind of just drag those things in. All right. And what we can do is, if you want to, you can go ahead and hit preview. We can see what this is going to look like. And there you go. We have our, it's in light mode right now, but you can see that this is what our website looks like. And we have our mint button here with, the number that you can mint from. It goes up to 2 because 2 is the max that you can actually mint. You can see right now it's mint paused because in our smart contract, if I go back here and we look at our stuff right now, our minting status is closed, which means no one can mint from it right now. So that is why we see mint paused here. Now, what I can also do, let's close this. All right, but once we are good with the preview, we can actually go ahead and publish this. Now, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and publish this for free using Typedream. You can actually, they give you a free URL right here to use. We can go ahead and publish, and people could actually go ahead and mint from this website if you wanted to. But if you do want to have a little bit more of a professional feel to your project, you might want to go ahead and pay for Typedream's upgrade. That way you can add your own custom domain and everything to it. But if we go on over to our website here, you can see now this is the URL that Typedream gave to us, but this is the actual website here. You're gonna have the branding and everything by Typedream, but you can actually go ahead and see that everything is live. And what we're going to actually do is go ahead and we're going to unpause our smart contract, and we're going to go ahead and actually test this to make sure everything works. Now, I'm going to pull up 2 websites in order to go ahead and test this. So we're actually going to go to testnets.opensea.io, which is OpenSea, but on the Rinkeby testnet, so that we can actually test to see how things would actually look like on OpenSea. I'm also going to go to Rinkeby.Rarible. Now, Rarible is another website, NFT marketplace. And sometimes I like to use Rarible because when I'm testing things, they appear and they show up on Rarible a lot quicker than they do on OpenSea. So you can have both of them open, but we're going to test them out on both. So you can see right here, our mint is paused. I'm going to go ahead, come on over to Rampp, and I'm going to change the minting status from closed to open. Now, anytime you interact with these features, you do have to pay a gas fee. So do keep that in mind, especially when you move on over to the mainnet. You want to make sure that you have enough Ethereum to go through the process of what you need to activate or turn on and off through your smart contract. So we're going to go ahead, unpause our contract. We're going to wait till that that transaction goes through. All right, and once it goes through, you can see even right here it says open. Now if we come back to our website and we refresh it, we should now have the option to mint 1 test ape. Now we're going to go ahead and mint 2 test apes, and we can see right here that we're going to have to pay some Ethereum, so we're going to make sure that is all set. Change that to do, and we're going to go ahead and mint it. Make sure that we connect our wallet. And you can see we're going to have to pay 0.1 Ethereum because 1 test ape, again, we set it at 0.05, so I'm buying 2. We're going to have to pay gas and everything. We're going to confirm it. I'm going to open up that transaction on Etherscan really quick so we can take a look and make sure everything goes through. All right, so we went ahead and minted our 2. You can see we minted token number 1 and token number 2 of our test ape tutorial. Now, if I go ahead and copy that contract code and we search this on Rarible, you can see test ape tutorial. We should see 2 here, which is the pre-reveal image, right? We should be seeing the pre-reveal image. We can test it on OpenSea as well. All right, so you can see right here, these are our pre-reveal image. So no one's really gonna know what they got until you hit reveal. So those are those there. That's good here. Now we can come back to Rampp. Now say everyone has minted all 200 of our NFTs from this collection, and we're ready to go ahead and reveal what everyone got. So if we look at number 1 and 2, we should see this test ape and this test ape revealed. So I'm going to come on over here to reveal status, and we're going to hit reveal. Now Rampp does give you this warning saying, are you sure you want to unveil your image, your token images? This cannot be undone. So once you reveal your NFTs from your collection, you cannot switch it back to unreveal. So make sure that when you do this, one, that you're all sold out, or you're ready and you're prepared to reveal your NFTs and keep this on. So we'll hit OK. We're going to go through with the gas fee to put through that transaction. All right, and once the transaction goes through, we can come back to our Rarible and OpenSea marketplaces. Now you may have to click on it, and we may have to refresh the metadata. So if in Rarible, you can come to the ellipses in the top right, you can hit refresh metadata. We have token 1 as well. Let's refresh metadata. When we come to OpenSea here, we can click on it and we can refresh the metadata there for number 2, and we can refresh it for number 1 as well. Now, when you reveal and you have your all your holders reveal and refresh the metadata, it does take some time. So there you go. You can see OpenSea's one just went ahead and revealed. And again, you got test ape number 1, test ape number 2, which matches our 1 and 2 right here. If we come to Rarible, you can see right here that went ahead and revealed the correct test ape number 1. It also shows the rarity properties. Of course, it's going to show 50% because there's only 2 NFTs out there that we have minted, so it's going to show the rarity based on those. But I can come down here, properties, you can see that it shows the properties right over here. And there you go. So we went ahead and created a smart contract with all those different features and everything in it. We went ahead, built a quick minting website, added in our minting button from Rampp, and we went ahead and actually created a full NFT project from start to finish. Smart contract minting website within less than an hour. Again, this is saying that you already have the artwork and metadata completed already. But I'll go ahead and create a new tutorial for that later on. But I did want to show everyone how to go ahead and create a smart contract for your NFT project, or maybe if you're looking to create and get into making NFT projects, Rampp is a very easy to use tool. Again, you can follow this tutorial. And one thing that Rampp has coming up on April 6th, which is actually probably very soon, depending on when I post this video, they are releasing their Flight Pass, which is a lifetime premium access to all the features that Rampp is going to be announcing. So this Rampp is fairly new. This is going to be for their early supporters who believe in Rampp and what they're doing. I believe the mint right now is going to be 0.3 Ethereum. They're only coming out with 150 of these passes. So as Rampp starts to build in more features, you're going to get lifetime access to all of those. I know some of the things that they are coming out with are going to be things like ERC 1155 contracts, as well as Solana contracts for Solana NFTs as well. So if you want to go ahead and check out Flight Pass, I'll drop the link down in the description below. Again, they're minting April 6th, so depending on when I get this video out, they may have minted already. So you can also check them out on the secondary market as well. And if you folks enjoyed this tutorial, you can actually head on over to my website and you can actually mint one of my Watase Genesis passes. I'm creating content around NFTs, how to start NFT projects, create NFT projects, and my Watase Genesis pass, you get access to an online course where I go into more detail on how I just created an NFT project with Rampp. I also go over how to create layered traits for generative art. I also go over things on how to start building your Discord and everything like that to actually go ahead and get your NFT project started. So if you're interested in that and you want to support what I'm doing, you can head on over to the website to mint a Genesis pass. I'll drop that link down below too. Or if you folks just want to help me out and donate, I'll drop ETH wallet address down below too if you want to help support me with what I am doing. But I hope you folks enjoyed this tutorial. Again, Rampp is a really easy to use no code tool where you can go ahead and create your NFT projects. Again, they work on Ethereum, Polygon, and Optimism right now, and they're coming out with blockchains like Solana very soon. So go ahead, check them out. Check out their Flight Pass and mint a Watase Genesis pass if you want to support me. I hope you folks enjoyed this tutorial and have a good one.